Hey there, Evan with Bluebird Exteriors here, and today I wanted to show you our roof restoration process specifically for shingle roofs, so that whether you're in the market for a company to do roof cleaning and you need to know what to look for and you're looking for prices, or you want to know if roof restoration is right for you, right for your home, I'm here to answer those questions and help you make a decision. So let's turn you around here, and first let's assess whether your roof needs a restoration or not. So we're up here on this roof. It's a fairly large roof. We've got a lot going on here, a lot of little additions and carport and all kinds of little things. It's a nice safe pitch for us to be up here, or else normally we'd be looking at this from the ladders, but I'm able to be up here and really get you a close look at what we're doing here. So when you're considering whether, one, you need roof washing, let's look at what we can actually clean. So this here, we have all these black streaks, and that is algae growth. That is something that we can clean. It grows on the north side of the home, on shady sides, under trees, and it is a live algae that grows and shows black on the roof. Let's look at what this roof is supposed to look like here on the south side. You can see it looks way brighter. You can see over here on the west side, there's a little bit of shade over here, and where this tree gives it a lot of shade in the mornings, there's some black as well. So you can really see the difference, what it's supposed to look like and what it does look like with the algae. So if you're seeing this on your roof, this is something that we can take care of. The next thing to be on the lookout for is moss and lichen growth. So over here, there's some moss growth. We've actually already treated this, so it's going to just show you what it is after we're done. But if you see this moss growth on your roof, and it'll be usually green, dark green. A lot of times if you have a darker colored roof, it'll blend right in, and you may not see it. It likes to grow here along the edges, right here, anywhere where it can really keep water and be even more protected from the sun. And then the next thing is lichen. There's a little spot of lichen over here. Right here, again, this is already treated, so it's turned white. But lichen can show up in yellows, blues, and greens, all kinds of colors there. And these two are things that you really don't want growing on your roof at all. Of course, algae, moss, and lichen are all living plants and organisms. The algae just kind of grows on the surface there. It's unsightly. It doesn't look good. It makes your home look dingy. But the moss and the lichen not only look unsightly, but they grow root systems, and they can actually tear apart your shingles. So if you're looking at a lot of moss, it's a definite need for the washing. If you're looking at just a lot of algae, that's a personal preference, but it will really brighten up the home and make it look a lot newer, getting that cleaned up. The next thing to consider is age of the roof. So if you are looking at a roof that's going to be replaced in the next 2 to 3 years, I wouldn't recommend getting a roof wash, because you are going to be putting down a substantial amount of money to get it looking good, just to get it replaced and have a brand new roof a few years later. Now the roof washing will last up to 5 years usually, is when we really start to see growth coming back. We do offer a warranty on our roof cleanings, so that if growth comes back before the allotted time, we will treat that again for free. But looking at the age of the roof is really important. You can see this shingle still has a lot of life left on it. There's a couple additions here on this home that are a bit older. The carport, the roof is a bit older. There's quite a bit of grip missing, but still quite a bit of life left on the roof as a whole. And so again, that is something to consider when you are looking at getting it cleaned, because it's not a super cheap thing. We're using a lot of equipment, we're using a lot of product, and we are using a lot of expertise. We've been doing this for 7 years, and we know what we're doing. And so it's not the cheapest thing when it comes to keeping up your home. But like I said, it does last for usually 5 years is when we start to see the growth come back. Now, it's not going to look this bad at that 5-year mark. This is probably 12, 15 years of growth. just because that's the age of the roof and it's never been cleaned before. But you will start to see little spots, especially up near the soffit vents, and particularly shady areas, start to come back after kind of 5 years or so. So that's kind of gives you an idea of whether you need it or not. So now that you've assessed whether you need the service, let's talk about the actual process that we here at Bluebird Exteriors have developed and learned and gotten certified in, so you can now know what company to go with and what you're even looking at when you get a bunch of quotes for this process. So let's talk about our safety assurance protocol. Now, this is something that we have specifically here at Bluebird Exteriors developed over the past 7 years of our business, really honing in how to protect your home. So protect your home, you may be asking, why does it need protection? Aren't you guys just cleaning it? Yes, we're cleaning it, but let me give you a little example here. So if you take some bleach and you use bleach maybe to clean your floors, you add a little bit in water and cleans everything up super nice. But if you pour a bucket of bleach on a plant, it's going to kill the plant, right? But at the same time, bleach and chlorine use the same product, the same active ingredient, sodium hypochlorite. Bleach and chlorine are the same thing. We put chlorine in our pools and we swim in it, and it doesn't hurt us. And we put chlorine in our drinking water to even a lesser extent, and we drink it and it doesn't hurt us. So what's the difference? The difference is the concentration. So if you pour a bucket of bleach on a plant, it's going to kill it. But if you dilute that bleach with a lot of water, it's not going to do anything to the plant, because it's mostly water. Like I said, we drink it and we're totally fine. So that the concentration is really the key here. And when we're applying cleaning products, these cleaning products are meant to get rid of this algae growth, to get rid of the moss and lichen growth. And so you have to realize, that means it gets rid of these living things on your roof. That applies to things off of your roof as well. And if it's not properly mitigated, and if you don't know what you're doing and know the steps to put in place to prevent damage, it will cause damage. Now, like I said, that's why we have our safety assurance protocol that we have built over the last 7 years to protect your home. We've been certified in classes to make sure that everything is going to go well here. So let me talk about that. Our safety assurance protocol, what that includes is any electrical, any furniture, anything around your house that can be tarped, bagged, taped, moved, is going to be moved out of the way, just so we don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be at any risk of us overspraying on it, anything like that. The second thing that we're going to do is the landscaping that is immovable plants, things like that. We're going to be tarping. We're going to be putting Tyvek so that it doesn't get super hot underneath the tarps if it's sunny out. We're going to water the plants first before we put that on, so they stay nice and cool in there. And that way, any splashes that come over the roof from our application and they happen to land what would be on the plants, they're protected by that tarping. The second thing that we're going to do is a lot of water. So we use lots and lots and lots of water when we're doing this application. Let me show you what we do. So we're going to be applying this product only to the roof. Of course, all that water or all that product is going to be flowing into the gutters. So we run water down all the gutters for a long, long time, usually about 15 minutes while we're applying. So that's constantly diluting the product. We're not putting a ton of product down the gutters. We apply a light amount to the roof and only apply as needed. So we're using a lot of water for the product that we're using, and that's going to go down the downspouts wherever they're flowing, and allow for that dilution to happen. The next thing that we do up here for the gutters is we have these chem packs here that are going to actually neutralize the cleaning product that we use. So not only are we adding a lot of water, we're covering the plants and we're moving things, we're tarping things, we're using these in the gutters so that any additional stuff that comes down the downspouts and gutters has a secondary neutralization that's going on. So we're doing a lot of things to keep your property protected here. I'm going to put that in the gutter in just a minute. So we've gone over a lot already. I know it's a long video, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a higher end service. This is something that You need to know the information so that you can make an informed decision on what to do. So we've gone over whether or not you need it. We've gone over the processes to protect your home for the application and what we're actually dealing with here. And now let's talk about the actual application itself. This is not a pressure washing. We do not pressure wash a roof. That's going to blast your shingles off, your grit off your shingles. It's going to degrade the life of your roof by a substantial amount. This is a soft washing process. So I've got our product applicator here. We're going to come over to part of the roof that we haven't done yet. And I'm just going to show you real quick the product application. Again, on a steeper roof, we would be on ladders spraying up. We can apply up to 3 stories with this, but since we're right here, it's going to give you a nice close view. So we're just gently applying product, just coating the roof. We don't want a lot of runoff. We don't want this product to just go into the ground for no reason. We want to use everything to do cleaning. So we're doing a nice light coating, gently. John's down there, the bigger trees and things that we're not able to tarp, he's constantly wetting while I'm spraying just in case, just to be safe. I'm going to continue to apply that later. But what we're going to do is let this sit for about 15-20 minutes. And then we do our rinsing process. Our rinsing process is also gentle. It uses about the same pressure as our applicator here, but then we're just rinsing with water. We rinse it down really well, and you can see the difference here. So this section of the roof used to look exactly like this one did, and now you can see what we're dealing with here. This will look even better once it's dried. That's starting to dry over there, and it's gonna look exactly the same as this does once we're finished here. So like I said, we let this sit for about 15-20 minutes. We'll apply to more areas. We usually work a small section at a time just to make sure everything's staying watered and protected there. And so we'll apply, we'll come back, we'll rinse, and then we'll be good to go. The last thing we need to talk about is expectations here. So what this cleaning does is day 1, we're gonna get rid of these black streaks. This algae growth is super easy to take off, you know, with our process. And day 1, those will be gone. If they're not, we come back and we reapply at no extra charge. We want to make sure that that's all taken care of. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a shady day or if the roof is still wet. So we make sure that you are aware that if there are any spots that did not get treated day 1, we will come back at no extra charge to take care of that. Now, the other thing that we talked about already is the moss and lichen. We showed you this over here. This has already been treated. You can tell because it's turned white. We will not remove this day 1 because it requires more pressure or brushing, all of which could damage the shingles. We don't want that. So what this is going to do is go under what we call a weathering process. A weathering process is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It is turned white and it's been treated. Now, over time, over about a month to 2 months, with the sun, wind, and rain, this is just going to fall off the roof by itself. So again, after about 2 months, if you don't see this off, we come and we retreat at no extra charge to make sure that's all taken care of. But that goes through our weathering process. 1 to 2 months later, it's totally gone. Black algae streaks, day 1, they are going to be gone. I hope this answers all of your questions. I'm sorry it's a super long video, but this is a big process. This is one of the things that we take the most amount of time with. A lot of expertise, a lot of certifications that we've gone through to make sure that this is done correctly for you. So I hope this helps you identifying whether you need it and who to go with and why the prices may be higher than you expected. So if you are interested in this service, or maybe you're already getting a quote and this is just some information for you, I'm Evan with Bluebird Exteriors, 423-657-0880 and BluebirdExteriorsLLC.com. You can always contact us to get more information or to get a quote. Thank you.